Hey folks, this is Steve Hurte, Temple Baptist Church pastor here, and I'm back again today, and we're talking more about prayer. Yesterday we talked about having a place to pray, and I am on my daily walk right now to go down to my prayer pad, which you saw yesterday, and I'm making my way back out there again, and I want to talk to you just a few minutes about another piece of prayer. Last week we talked about the place, establishing a place. Very important that we establish a place that we pray. And I took you on this walk yesterday, and I had this little patio made down by our little pond here behind the house, and I put this here for a place to pray. I call it my prayer pad. That's where I come and seek the Lord, and we talked about that yesterday. But today, I want to talk to you just for a minute about the time of prayer when you do it. I learned many years ago that if you do not have a time established that you pray every day, I'm going to do it then, and everything else has to be secondary. Strange thing about prayer, we talk about it and seem to believe that it's so important that we pray and we give it a priority in conversation, like there's nothing more important than prayer. Yet, if anything comes up during our prayer time goes out the window. How is that? You find, and I won't get off into this, but there's a spiritual warfare that goes with prayer. If the enemy learns, if I do this, he won't pray today. Well, he'll make sure that happens. But that's another subject. But because it's so important, there must be a time established that you pray in the day. If you don't have a particular time, you'll never get to it. And I'm not pointing a finger at you, I'm talking about me. If I don't have a particular time that I go do it, it won't ever happen. Now, if I've got in my case, if I've got a study day where I'm going to be studying for the greatest part of the day, then sometimes on that day I'll do it at different times during the day sometimes. It won't always be a set time. But then I have other days that are established. I always get up early. Now, I've mentioned it before preaching that I get up on Sunday morning at 4 o'clock to pray. And of course, I never come down here. It's creepy down here at 4 o'clock. I'm telling you, you can't see nothing. But I don't pray down here then. But anyway, that's a time that's established. Every Sunday morning, 4 o'clock, I'm going to do that. That's one of them set in stone. But I suggest anybody that has a job, anybody that has children, establish a time, and this is my time with God. And most of the time, if you got children, you're going to have to do it after they go to bed. And if your children exhaust you, like most children do, you may have to set that time early in the morning before they get up. And so whatever. So that, as far as time is concerned, there must be a certain time established. This is when I'm going to pray. And secondly, let's talk about the length of time. The length of time is not something that I ever look at. I never sit down and think, okay, I'm going to pray for 15 minutes. I'm going to set my alarm, or I'm going to pray for an hour, set my alarm, and I'm going to pray. That's not what I do. I pray, and then most of you, if you've got schedules, so when you start praying, you're going to have a certain time you got to stop to go to work, or you need to stop and go to bed, or whatever, depending on when you do it. The length of time is not a huge issue. Sometimes I'll pray for 20 minutes. Sometimes maybe just 15 minutes. It's not usually it's longer than that, but it's not at all uncommon. I'd say a very common amount of time. If I was going to guess, probably an hour. But it's not uncommon for it to stretch to 3 or 4 hours. Not more than once a week, maybe, like that. Uh, got a lot to pray about, a lot of things to cover, a lot of people to pray for. Uh, I try to, when somebody asks me to pray for them, I try to do it. And, uh, and not, I'll always, somebody asks me, I always breathe a word of prayer immediately, uh, lest I forget it. But I try to seek God about that, and then I pray a lot about what I'm going to be preaching about, and for God's direction. Uh, so anyway, uh, make sure I'm finished. Make sure you got a specific time, and and don't try to set a 10-minute alarm or something like that. So okay, now it's over. Now I'm done. That's not what this is about. This is about you having a relationship with God. It's about you seeking Him. He wants to come and talk to you like He did Adam in the cool of the day, and that's why it's set up as prayer. That's why He established prayer. It's one of the main reasons. So that's my thought for you today. Make sure there must be a time that you pursue God and you do it on purpose. I hope you have a great day in Him, and I hope and pray that you'll have one of the best times with God today that you've had in years. I pray He'll wake up your spirit, bring tears to your eyes, and it'll just be a wonderful thing. I love y'all. Have a great day.